She's not what you'd expect. She's tough and feisty, but gentle and tender. She makes millions and gives millions to the poor. She cries, she laughs, she teaches, she comforts. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Hi, welcome to the Dani Johnson Show. Hey, today is Work Tip Tuesday, and man, I'm telling you, there is a trend that has started that I am just not completely sure nor sold if it's a good one. Did you know that 35 million Americans have reported that they are smoking weed and that they feel like, wow, they're doing it at least on a monthly basis, and 52% of them are millennials? How is this going to impact our world? What is your opinion on this? We asked this question to our audience earlier, and I've been pretty blown away by the response. Now, listen, friend, I grew up in a house where there was weed 24/7. Seriously. My parents would smoke it with us little tiny babies in the car, the full-on Cheech and Chong joints. They had the, windows rolled up. I remember when I was 13 years old, we moved out of Southern California into Northern California, super far away, and in a tiny little town. And I remember my parents dropping us off at school with all the windows rolled up, them choking out the big giant Cheech and Chong joints and delivering us for the first time. Now, have you ever been around a smoking family, like cigarettes or weed? You smell like it. So I know for sure that I smelled like weed my first day at school and the second and every day thereafter. I'm pretty confident that I had my first contact high when I was at least a little baby. Do I like weed? I am personally not for it. I have suffered tremendously as a child because of the wonderful things that came out of that. But I am not the only opinion that is out there. And today I want to hear from what you think. We want to know what your thoughts are on this, because there's some people who actually think that they can work and smoke weed and that they're perfectly fine doing it. My question to you is, if you're an employer and you're a pot smoker, what kind of value are you producing for your employees? And if you're an employee and you're a pot smoker, do you think that this is the highest and best value for you in the workplace? Or is it a non-issue? Is it an absolute non-issue? So can you work, get promoted, grow a business, and or create wealth for yourself smoking weed? I don't know, because I've chosen not to go in that direction. I used to, and I was a mess, no question. All right, so we're first going to go over to Nina from Dallas, who has an opinion about this. Nina, what say you concerning weed and the workplace?
Well, Dani, my comment was on this question was that that I'm not as concerned as with marijuana as with opioids. Opioids, which is a prescribed drug, and people are coming into the workplace with antidepressants, sleep disorders, which is opioids is actually, I don't think with marijuana we have the data that people overdose. As you, I grew up with a parent for 18 years smoking, so I know the side effects.
Right. Well, what was that for you growing up? Tell me what that is. But you're saying something very interesting. Yeah. Has anyone ever overdosed on weed? I don't know. That's a great question.
There's no data. I have been educating myself about this.
But people have overdosed on prescription drugs, for sure, on opiates. No question. And alcohol. Died. And alcohol, actually. People have killed themselves with alcohol. So tell me, what was it like growing up in a home for the 18 years of your life with one pot-smoking parent?
Well, this parent was just in prior of me being even born. So I know that environment, since it was a natural environment for me. The side effects, well, actually wanted the parent to use it because he was aggressive without it. He was abusive physically towards, the other parent. So I was actually, I lived noticing that when he smoked, he was actually calm. He was actually a happier person.
And then, but what happened when he came off of it?
He became very aggressive.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So which one caused him to be aggressive?
I believe that this is more of a matter of a heart. And this person was born in an environment that was not, he didn't become a happy adult, so he needed something to escape.
But Nina, let me ask you this question, because I had one of my son-in-laws that was like this, and he was diagnosed with PTSD and a bunch of other stuff. He was former military, and sadly, one of my family members was the first to send him and tell him that this was the best solution for it, which was weed. And he began to get a tolerance of it. I spent time in their house with my daughter and my grandchildren, and it completely broke my heart because I grew up with this stuff, and when I saw okay, so he's high for 2.5 hours, and then he's a tyrant for the next 2.5 hours, and he smokes again. So then really it was, wait a second, is it coming down off of the weed that makes him the tyrant? Is it the weed that actually is making him a tyrant? Or is it him not, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It didn't last. So there was still abuse in the house. There was still these outbursts of rage. There was still this craziness that was happening, even though he was smoking weed all day long. So I can't say that the weed actually helped. If anything, I saw a tyrant be more tyrannical. And so what is the answer? That he stays high all day long?
Exactly.
And never comes down? But I watched the guy come down. I watched him come down. It's like the last 30 minutes of his 2.5 hour high was like, here he goes. Here it is. Here comes the elevation in the house. So I don't know. I'm really wondering, is it really what's calming them down, or is it making them more aggravated once the high starts to leave than if they had not smoked weed to begin with? Yeah,
because as a child, it was a happy moment for me for him to be high because I didn't have to suffer the consequences of him not being high. So,
right. So then my question is if he had never smoked weed, how many times a day would he be a tyrant?
I believe, because knowing him, I believe that he will be constantly a very angry person.
Wow.
That was his normal stage.
Yeah, I don't know what the normal stage was for the people I grew up in, the house I grew up in, because I never saw them normal. So I can't even begin to guess as to what that would actually look like because we don't know. We absolutely don't know. Nina, I appreciate your words, and you're right. Opiates are much more intense in that people have not OD'd off of marijuana, at least that we've seen. This is Dani Johnson. We'll continue with more after this. Are you confident that you're always getting a good deal? Have you been equipped with the negotiation confidence, strategies, tactics, and supporting tools you need to close world-class deals? Finally, JPA is making the exact same specialized negotiation training and secrets used by the world's largest, most successful corporations available to everyone. Proven in more than 60 countries and used by brands like Adidas, Vodafone, Pfizer, Nokia, and others, the JPA negotiation method will set you up to save money and time while significantly increasing your profits. It doesn't matter if you're buying or selling real estate, closing contracts with suppliers, or selling products and services to individuals or organizations. Using their simple step-by-step negotiation preparation checklist, you'll be ready to confidently slug it out toe-to-toe with the toughest professional negotiators. It's time for you to stop leaving money and opportunity on the table. Go to bizneg.com/events to register now. Again, that's bizneg.com/events. Get registered today.
Did you know you can take the Dani Johnson Show with you wherever you go? It's never been easier to stay up to date with the latest content from Dani with the DaniJohnson.com app. Watch or listen in the car, at the gym, or on the go. Download it now from the App Store and Google Play and never miss a show again. Your family, business, and bank account will thank you. And now, back to the Dani Johnson Show.
You might be thinking that you can do whatever the heck you want with your life and that it's really not going to matter anyway. Friend, I'm Dani Johnson. Today we're talking about work and giving you tips to succeeding in the marketplace. Today marijuana is on the rise. I don't even like calling that. It sounds like so medicinal. Weed, pot, the stuff I used to smoke when I wanted to kill myself. Literally, I was a homeless woman 27 and a half years ago, and I was smoking weed every day. I was high as a kite all day, every day, and this was not helping me to become successful. It wasn't until I stopped smoking weed that I started to succeed. I was burying myself in what I thought was gonna, I couldn't deal with my life. I couldn't deal with the pain of my childhood. And that's why I smoked it. It was kind of an escape for me. But I know that's not the case for everybody. And today we're talking about, can you succeed and smoke weed at the same time? There's various different opinions just in my own family. There's various different opinions around the world. And we want to just bring light to it. We asked our audience, what are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you think that you can succeed and smoke weed at the same time? Here's some statistics that we found. Those who reported heavy marijuana had a much higher likelihood of earning $30,000 or less per year. Well, if you're happy with $30,000 a year, now you might be saying, well, Dani, I make 30 grand a year and I don't smoke weed. Well, then there's a good chance that you might do some things to further your career. But do people who smoke weed, do they have less motivation to further themselves and to advance themselves in life? I don't know. I want to hear from those who, might have a different opinion than mine on this. We've got Amy from San Diego. Amy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you, Dani.
Hi. So what about you? What's your opinion concerning weed?
I'm a medical marijuana patient. I have multiple sclerosis. So my opinion on it is that I feel like if you're using it in an educated manner, if you've, done some research, found yourself, seeking professionals who know about it and know the science behind it and are kind of guided along, and you're using it in a responsible manner, I do feel that medically, for me, it doesn't hold me back. I feel like it actually helps me function as a normal human being.
Okay, you have to help me out. Okay? You have MS.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first of all, I'm so sorry. I can't imagine, girl. I cannot imagine what that's like. So with MS, the thing that went off in my head is like, wait a second. I remember way back when I used to smoke weed. When I would smoke weed, I couldn't function. I couldn't move. I could not move. So you have to help me understand, because MS is physically debilitating.
Yeah.
How in the world does weed help you not be physically debilitated?
It really depends on, in my research that I've done and just learning about it, there's been so much research that depends really what type of cannabis. I use the medical word cannabis, but it's marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
Depends what you really use, because there's different types, and some might give you energy, whereas some might make you tired. Some helps get rid of my pain and my spasticity, my fatigue. Sometimes it gives me energy. Sometimes I use other kinds to help me sleep when I have pain. And there are products out there actually that don't give you the high from it, that have the cannabis in it, that just help with physical, debilitation.
Is that the ones that
anxiety.
you use? Is that the ones that you use?
Yeah. I use stuff that helps me, function throughout the day and be, quote, normal functioning human being, be able to do what I need to do every day.
So do you work?
Something that motivates me.
Amy, are you work? Do you work?
I do.
What do you do?
I work from home.
Okay.
Personal business.
You work a business from home.
Like network marketing.
Okay. So you're saying that you use a form of cannabis that does not get you high, but it helps with pain.
There's like types called CBD, which actually don't give you like the
high.
Yeah.
The stuff that used to make me feel like I was on the Gravitron. That stuff. That was horrifying. Okay, absolutely horrifying. So you say that there is a stream of, okay, so then this kind of sounds like where drugs all came from. I mean, prescription drugs all came from, right? Because prescription drugs have all come from natural sources. They've just been synthetically put together or modified or whatever. I'm not a big pharma person, but this kind of sounds like this is the beginning of them testing that out, that they were able to pull out the stuff that makes you high, but yet be able to take care of the pain that you're struggling with on a daily basis.
Yeah, there's just been so much more research, and hopefully they'll do more, because right now our government is it's federally illegal, so there's a halt on investigating these things and researching these things to find out what can really help people with cancer and MS, and little children are use the CBD for epilepsy. And
so CBD, CBD is the non get you high stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And it's not that THC is bad. It actually boosts the CBD, but in small amounts, it's not going to get you high, but it's still going to be medicinally helping you.
Next question. Do you feel, because you said you feel like if people are using it responsibly, then it's okay. So do you think that people actually use it responsibly?
I think that a lot of people don't, but there are people out there that do.
Yeah, I got to tell you about this kid I met on an airplane on my way to Costa Rica. And this kid, he's like, yeah, I'm from California, and it's like so awesome. All I had to do was claim I have anxiety from college, and I was able to get a cannabis card, and they gave it to me medically. And so now I just get high, and I surf all day. I'm like... Okay, talk about cheating the system. Talk about cheating the system. Is this helping you get through college? Is this helping you get to your goals? Is this helping you aspire to do something great with your life? Or is this your excuse to get high and do it legally? Which I love that you answered the question. Yeah, most people probably do it irresponsibly. But I'm happy to hear that you are finding a solution. Because to me, when I'm hearing you explain this, I can't imagine what it's like to have MS. I cannot imagine what it's like to suffer like that and that kind of pain. So, you've had to find solutions. And I'm allergic to every pain medication that exists. There's nothing I can take that can relieve me of pain. I'm allergic to all opiates, let's just say that. And so what I'm wondering is if the American people are being used almost as guinea pigs as they are formulating a drug that they will then eventually only be able to describe through pharmacies and things like that. It's an interesting thing hearing you talk about it. This is Dani Johnson. We're going to continue this Work Tip Tuesday right after this. Have you ever wondered if your investments are making enough money for retirement? What if you could buy an investment rental property for as little as $35,000 that rents for at least $550 a month? After Aaron and Drew Hudson asked themselves this question, Hudson Real Estate Investments was formed, and now 200 transactions have been conducted. Their system helps individuals buy and hold real estate. Their definition of a great buy and hold is a property that pays you a monthly positive cash flow from day one. Hudson Real Estate Investments has a team who find properties available for immediate purchase, vet tenants, and have qualified property management in place. So if you're looking to have freedom and live your life on your own terms, grab your phone and text the word future to 484848. Get started today. Text the word future to 484848. Secure your future now.
Prior to Dani Johnson, I was struggling in my business. I was drowning in debt. Me and Crystal weren't doing so well either. In the last 21 months since our first event, I paid off $36,000. We actually got engaged, which was the best part, and my business made $90,000 last year. And I've given over $5,000 to orphans this year as well. So I can tell you that this has changed my life, but I want to recommend that you come to this event and learn as much as you can from Dani Johnson.
I attended a First Steps to Success event, and after the skills I learned there, I started a home business. I've made over 5 figures in 1 month. Actually, I've generated over $90,000, which is way more than I ever did working full-time at my other job. So we have increased our income, paid off debt. More than that, though, we no longer have that pressure. It's just been such a blessing to my family. So, everything might be awesome in your life, but if you want to increase your income, pay off debt, improve relationships, live the life you've always wanted to live, I suggest you get to DaniJohnson.com and register for the next event.
After plugging into Dani Johnson, we made a covenant that we would either move forward together or we would go our separate ways. And in a matter of days, we sold his car, we bought our engagement ring. 5 months later, we were married. We paid for our wedding in cash because of the business skills that we had also learned from Dani. And we've since then more than quadrupled our income. And we've been together now, married for over a year.
And after plugging into Dani Johnson, we have paid off $196,000 in 13 months. My company has grown 90%, and I have relationships that I could never have even imagined with the ones I care most about around me.
Prior to attending my First Steps to Success, we were drowning in debt. We had lost a business. My second marriage was going down the toilets. I had no time and relationship with my son. And I was just a mess, and I was burning out fast. After attending First Steps and been to a few events, we have a thriving business that's gone international. We have paid off 65% of our debt. We are not just making money, but we're saving money and we're learning how to grow money. I have got a marriage that's gone from barely surviving to thriving, and I now have 2 children with whom I have so much time. I am not burnt out, stressed out, and all I can say is you've just got to get here.
What multimillionaire do you know that volunteers their time to help ordinary people like you and me? There's only one. This is the Dani Johnson Show.
Friend, we want to see you succeed. And everything here at DaniJohnson.com and on the Dani Johnson Show, we are here to help bring light to maybe some dark places or bring some awareness to places of things that you could be doing that might be hurting your career, that could possibly be stopping you short of the kind of success that you want. And I'm not talking about just financial success. I'm talking about success in every area. But specifically today, we're talking about work. And marijuana, weed, pot is on the rise. That's what it was called when I was growing up. This is what my parents did, rolling 20 joints in the morning, on my way to kindergarten. And then when I would get back, still in his boxer shorts, rolling more joints. Did not work. Never once saw my dad get up and go to a job. And this is my stepfather, who I thought was my real father. This was somebody who was not using this responsibly. And I'm not sure. I'm sure there are people that do. I have not personally witnessed it myself, but I want you to be aware of the reality of what it can be doing to your work life, what it can be doing to your business. Check this out. I want you to think of this. There were 9 pilots who smoked weed in the form of a cigarette. They rolled a joint, okay? And they tried to fly in a simulation machine. 7 still showed impaired performance 24 hours later. Only 1 was aware that he was still impaired. That was by preemploymentscreen.com. Do you want the guy who's flying your airplane? Hello? The plane that you're going to see your grandmother, the plane you're going to take your entire family on vacation, the plane that you're going to get on to come to First Steps to Success this weekend, April 20th through the 22nd in Washington, D.C., the airplane that you're going to get on, do you want your pilot smoking weed? Do you want him taking a hit before he takes you and 237 other people across the country, or just 1 hour flight, or even a 30-minute flight? Do you want him token out before he takes you up 30,000 feet in the air? It's a good question, isn't it? We got Suzanne from New Jersey. Suzanne, what's your opinion? We've asked our audience what their opinion is on weed. I've got mine. Everybody has theirs. What's yours, lady?
Oh, hi. Well, I work in the industry.
What is the industry? You sell weed?
I don't sell it. I help trim it to get it ready to be made into medicine and packaged.
I have some family members that do the same thing.
Oh, really?
Of course. Hello. Just because Dani got out of the drug life, just because Dani got out of the life that I was in, doesn't mean my family did.
Well, people who know me are shocked at this because I was so straight-laced. I'm much more conservative. And I've never done it before. I wouldn't even know where to go get it, off the street. But all I can say is you have to be really focused at what you're doing to do this. And you're talking about growers, very physical work.
Mm-hmm. It's a plant. It's garden. It's farming. Yeah.
And the master growers, I think I've told.
But let me ask you this question. So you don't smoke the stuff. You just grow the stuff.
Well, I don't grow it either. They grow it, and then when it needs to get all the leaves and everything taken off, that's my job. That's where I come in.
And you don't smoke it? You don't eat it? You don't play around with it? Nothing?
No. It's when you're there, it's the most sterile environment. There are so many, we have to meet outside, and somebody has to come and get us to unlock the doors and let us in, and there are layers and layers of doors that are locked before we get in.
Wow.
And then we have to suit up. No part of you touches it. You can't have anything on your head. I don't understand that. So,
wow.
maybe the smell gets in your hair or something.
Yeah, it gets on your clothes. It gets everywhere.
Well, we're all suited up. So
Yeah.
our clothes, and we have to wear little booties on our feet.
Wow.
So you're never touching it because they don't want us ruining the medicine.
Wow. Wow.
But all I can say is it's so physical. And long hours. I'm there at least for 8 or 9 hours when I'm there, and the growers are there longer.
Wow. This is a trip to me.
There are days where we process like hundreds of pounds of the stuff.
Wow.
And I know the people there who work there. A lot of them do have their medical cards, so they're users, and they're working their freaking asses off.
That's okay.
All over the place. They have to do some heavy freaking lifting too with some of this stuff.
And they smoke it, and they have physical needs. Wow, what a trip. Yeah. That's amazing, Suzanne. Thanks so much for your comment. So obviously it provides a job for you. Even though you don't smoke it, you are provided a job for it. That's amazing. All right, so let's go to Lisa from San Francisco. Lisa, what is your opinion concerning weed?
Well, when we take a substance like pot into our system, it has a neurological effect. And the younger we are, the more lasting that effect is because it actually changes the neurology. So it seems like everything's fine. It doesn't really matter. I'm just taking a time out. That's not the case.
Tell me more. Tell me more about that.
So I think people get stressed and they need a break. And so that's one way that some people have chosen, which I understand. And I'm not condemning people for it, but I'd like to open a deeper understanding to what really happens. So when we do stuff, the younger we are, we're forming neurological pathways that determine who we are. So especially young children who are maybe around secondhand smoke that's like marijuana. I was.
That's my entire growing up life. It was all secondhand smoke. In the car, my parents would smoke, and at the big cloud that's inside the car, you couldn't even see out the car. 24/7, there was a cloud of smoke. My parents smoked through the night. They had big giant piles of it on their nightstand. And it absolutely made a difference. My two sisters ended up addicts, drug addicts, just like my mom and her stepdad. Her husband. Myself, I started going in that direction. And I found that I had to fight through a lot of motivational issues. I had to fight through a lot of pain, internal, emotional pain, as a direct result of growing up in it. And so for me, I'm sorry, at least I agree with you that people need to be fully aware of the implications of what it's doing. And it does map our brain, especially the younger we are. And so I want my brain to be mapped for success. I don't want my brain to be mapped for anything else. This is Dani Johnson. I hope you enjoyed today. God bless you, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Do you have a closet full of clothes yet say, I have nothing to wear? Are you a mom doing her best but desperately lacking me time? Or maybe your schedule has you dressing practically instead of powerfully. What if I told you there's a system, a blueprint that can save you time, money, and turn every head in the room, as well as impact the world through fashion? Friend, you're in the fashion business whether you like it or not. You're an ambassador representing your faith, your marriage, family, and business. Style is just a skill made easy with 123 Style Me. 10 steps to style success that will expand your leadership, save you hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars. This program will bring you peace of mind, reignite your marriage, make you more productive, respected, and instantly boost your confidence, equipping you to be bold and beautiful. Go to courses.lindapage.com. Again, that is courses.lindapage.com and make a priceless investment in yourself.
Did you know you can see Dani Johnson live and in person? Go to DaniJohnson.com and find out about our next live event. First Steps to Success. Register today. Call 866-760-8255 or go to DaniJohnson.com/FSTS. If this episode was an encouragement to you, go to DaniJohnson.com and share it with your friends now. You never know who else needs to hear it. This has been The Dani Johnson Show. Join us every weekday at 7 a.m. for more insights that will help you get to the life you've always wanted.